You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live. Next, featuring intimate and in-depth interviews with Black Hollywood's next edition of stars and influencers. Black Hollywood Live. Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live, next.
Hey.
Hey, I
love that intro.
I know, I came in
I feel like I'm on a reality show. With that music, I feel like I'm on a reality show. What's going on, my good, beautiful people? Welcome to another sit down at Nets. I am your host, Cortez G. West, and along with me, I have this is her first show. I have my co-host. I love her personality. Introduce the people.
I am Kiki Ayers.
Nice to see you. That's it. That's all we get. I am Kiki Ayers.
No bio required.
That's all she needs to say. I am Kiki Ayers. Get familiar.
Well, we have a wonderful, wonderful guest on the show for you today. I think she wears so many hats. She probably has a white hat like Olivia Pope. But this girl carries so many hats. Producer, actress. Let's see, broadcaster herself. Welcome to the show. Lucena
Oh my God,
Herrera.
thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes,
I love it. A round of applause. Un aplauso.
What's going on? Well, we're just going to jump right into it, okay?
do it.
So what's going on? Tell us about yourself. We couldn't really get much about Lucena. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so me, I am from the Bay Area. And, just grew up in a very artistic home. My dad has a dance background, and my dad's a painter. My mother's did hair, all in the beauty. So I've always had a lot of creative forces. Oh, and my mom and my dad danced together. So I've always had a lot of creative forces in my house. So nice. I was destined to be in the creative field. And, from there, I, danced my whole life, played sports my whole life.
Oh, wow.
And
What
at
sports?
the same time, softball, basketball, volleyball, soccer.
That's why this body is intact, y'all. She got that athletic.
No, I need to work on it a little bit more. I need to work on it.
And where are you from? Are you from?
I'm from the Bay Area, so I'm from Union
nice.
City, California.
Union
and
City.
stuff. So it's like about, you would say, maybe like 10 to 15 minutes outside of Oakland.
Wow. So speaking of your dance background, I read that you were a Raiderette.
I was a Raiderette,
Wow.
yes.
Tell us about that. How was that?
It was actually really... it was a beautiful experience. Recently in the tabloids, there's been a lot of, I don't know if you guys heard, but there's all kinds of these lawsuits coming out right now.
Yeah.
About suing and the first one started with the Raiderettes, which was crushing. And I get that you want more money, you want to be paid your value, and I totally understand that, but I don't know, my experience and my fellow, Raiderettes, I just had the best experience of my life. That really gave me the platform to kind of go to the next level, and it really helped me out and stuff. So I'm glad I chose that.
Right.
Before I was gonna actually go into the Marines, but then
Semper Fi.
But
Always faithful.
my dad was in the Army. My dad was like, "Oh, please just go to college, and if it doesn't work out, then do what you do." But I decided to wear another type of uniform.
Wow.
So all my dancing and all that stuff worked out, and then at the same time going to college for broadcasting. So I really, it really helped me. Got to another platform. I was able to represent the Latin community at the same time.
I love the fact that
I'm bilingual.
Yes,
so,
I love that. I was
yeah.
gonna say that. I love that because I was looking at your reel and I saw that. I was like, that's dope. I'm gonna learn.
I can switch it back and forth whenever you want.
That. Exactly.
Yeah.
But as I said before, you wear many hats. What is like your main passion career that you want to do? Because like I said, you produce. I know that you are a broadcaster. You dance. Like, come on, and actress.
I'll be okay. Number one, my number one passion. Number one passion is taking money out of everything. Number one passion is dance.
Okay.
If I could dance around the world, I would do it. And if I was able to make a good living and live relaxed and do that, I would. But that world is very tough to get into. So number two, the other passion is acting. Acting is another field that's very hard to kind of get into, kind of survive.
Right.
But so I kind of looked at both of those things and I said, It's going to be hard, but I want to do it. It's not that I want to eliminate from my life. I want to do it. But what can I do, go to college for, and have a good career and be similar to the branch that I'm on? And that was broadcasting. Because I love talking to people.
I can tell.
Yeah.
We can tell by,
Yeah.
we can tell by, yeah.
For sure.
I
definitely
love it. I love talking to people. I love music. Obviously it goes hand in hand with dancing, and that's another thing. If I could be and now if you gave me a wish, I'd be a singer. I'd be around the world.
You give me a little Mariah Carey right now. You give me a little of that right now.
I can't hit that top note. I can't do it. I cannot do
Do
it.
what she do. She be pointing at it.
Right? I'll have someone else. Maybe on that part we'll do a Melanie Vanilli, you know what I mean, type thing, just for that.
Wow.
But and so everything that I do is definitely my passion and definitely an extension of something else, and I thought to myself, okay, I'm gonna go to college and I'm gonna go for mass comm and broadcasting, and because I liked it, and I loved it, and then I developed a passion for it, a bigger passion for it.
Oh, nice.
And then through my broadcasting, it gave me the ability to be able to speak on camera, to engage and make people understand me through a lens, which is very hard. So what you guys do is very hard to do.
People thinking it's so easy, but it's not.
It's not. It's really not. So it really helped, and that element definitely helped me in the acting realm. And and I've always, and I'm a huge admirer of Oprah, and a huge admirer of Cristina, I don't know if you know Univision, they say the Latin opera. So I would watch them and stuff, and I love Ellen and those type of people. So that's pretty much, I guess you can ball up my passion and all in one. It was more or less being smart about my choices and knowing how am I going to survive, because number one, you need to survive. We need money. You know what I mean? But I didn't want to just be in a 9-to-5,
I'm the same way. And I believe you, because you created,
I just didn't want to do that.
Right, because I know you created 2 shows. It was the Lunchbox and the Warriors World TV.
Yeah.
And right now, currently, you still are with WWT right now. Tell me about that. How did you create those? What made you want to? Because some people believe in if the opportunity is not presented to you, you have to make your own opportunities.
Yes, and I'm a firm believer. That's why I am so in love with this place right now. I feel
she love our studio.
I feel the creative energy, and it's coming through, and I love it, and it's inspiring me. I got involved with Warriors World TV, which is it's warriorsworld.net, which is one of the biggest sites for the Golden State Warriors in the Bay Area, okay? So, and it was just kind of a fun thing, because at that moment I was on-air talent for Telemundo. So I did Telemundo, and I was on-air talent.
Say it again.
Telemundo. Which I love, because everybody knows what Telemundo is.
Yes.
You don't even need to speak Spanish. So, Telemundo was probably one of my first opportunities to be like, oh my God, the first thing I've ever wanted to say was, and back to you in the studio. You know what I mean? And that's where I got to do it. I didn't do it in English, I did it in Spanish, So I was really, really, really excited to be there. And while I was there, I had all this, so many ideas. On the side, I have this studio in the Bay Area, and it's a radio station called allinradio.com, and it's internet radio. And internet radio, before even internet radio was like blowing up. Yeah. I just pretty much went in there because I met these people, and I would just use it to do on live, like to check my live skills, and then I would just do a little podcast, but it wasn't at that moment that big, So I was trying to find out, how can I be more creative? Because, once you're part of a network, it does take, it is challenging to get your ideas, especially if you're like the youngest one and the youngest one, and you're not, they feel like you're not that experienced. And then on top of that, in my world, in like the Telemundo world, it's very hard for, you would say, a first generation Latino to really break it. There's not many at all, because, you live here, your Spanish is probably not. You know what I mean? It's probably not impeccable. And that was another challenge that I overcame. And the moment I was on camera, I was like, check, did it. Thank you. Muchas gracias. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Welcome to Telemundo.
I was really excited to do that. And, I have a lot of love for that network, because they gave me my opportunity. But from there, I still had these, juices just flowing out of me. And I was like, what can I do? And I remember speaking to a friend of mine in Miami who also is a broadcaster, and she worked in Miami, and I asked, she just hit me up randomly. It was one of those moments when you hit those walls.
Right.
Those walls we all hit, okay? And she hit me up, and she goes, hey, I'm going to hook you up with this guy named Rashid Malik, and he is, writes for Warriors World, but he wants to do some type of video, but he doesn't know, do you mind, it's no pay. And I said, at that moment, I'm like, okay, I'm getting money here, but doesn't mind, okay, let's do it. Yeah. So, I totally invested with him, and, we started creating Warriors World TV. He literally showed up to me, here's the mic, do you? Okay. So it was kind of cool, and then wonderful. From there it just evolved. And, my style of interviewing, especially in the sports world, is, we know the X's and O's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You interview a lot of sports people. I know, Kiki, I know you wanted to.
I know you saw, you interviewed Dwayne Wade. You even interviewed Kevin Hart about sports.
Yeah.
How did you get those interviews?
It's just about basically just reaching out, networking, reaching out. And honestly, everybody has a representative. Right. And you just email them. If they say yes, nice. If they say no, okay, you'll be back. You know what I mean? You always have to have that sense of confidence. And that's what me and my boy Rashid, which we're still definitely a team. We're still very strong and stuff. And, we started developing it. And I think it was a style that I put into place. It wasn't necessarily like, in the fourth quarter you had, this and it wasn't that. It was like, we know that. You know what I mean? We know that. We know what you do on the court. Like, I want to know about you.
So, because I did notice that most of your interviews were through sports, but when you interviewed Miguel, what was your purpose of wanting to interview Miguel? So
the reason why you'll see, with Warriors World or which later on evolved into Comcast Sports and the Lunchbox and stuff, is the reason why is because that world runs together. You see Mayweather, you see Bieber.
Of course, exactly.
Okay,
yes,
so
yes,
you see those worlds run together. Artists want to become athletes want to become artists.
Right.
Of course.
With the
because you asked him that.
Exactly. With the Miguel interview, he says hands down, anybody wants to battle me, Shaq has to be the best, rapper in the athletic world.
It was so funny because your cameraman actually zoomed in on him when he said that.
Yeah,
it was just like, did you just say Shaq? And he was like,
and he said, I challenge anyone to battle me. Like,
right.
So, with that being said, I mean, those worlds run together a lot. Just look at Twitter. So many artists are talking about the sports and involved and think they're broadcasters, you know what I mean? And so to me, it's just joining those two worlds together because they definitely run, side by side. And, it was fun. I want to hear the perspective of, like Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart talking about sports and talking about, he's from Philadelphia, and Philadelphia, their football, the Eagles, I mean, their fan base is ridiculous, and then the Raider fan base is ridiculous. So me and him had a kind of like a little battle and stuff.
Because your love is with the Raiders.
Yeah,
right? But let's fast forward a little bit. Kiki, I know we were talking about her acting life.
Yes. So how did you get into acting, and who would you want to work with in your acting career?
Well, number one, how I got into acting is my dad is probably my inspiration, I would say. My dad is a very creative man, and throughout my whole life, he would make us play charades and make us like, he would give us words, and he would say, I want you to express these words. And, and I didn't know what was going on. I thought it was just a game, you know what I mean? But my dad did, touch the film industry, the acting world, you would say, but the acting world. And his dream was to always break out, in film in the United States and stuff. So I always kind of knew that artistic, and my dad was always like, he would make us imagine that. So, and I always knew that I would watch, movies, and I'd say, I could do that, you know what I mean? And I was always acting and pretending in my room anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you have the persona for it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. But I always wanted to do that, and my dad was probably my huge inspiration for that. And, and I always had that in the back of my mind.
So when did you start?
When did I start?
What age?
I started at, I would say, like, I was getting trained from my dad since I was, I don't know, like 10, you know what I mean? But my dad didn't make it training. Right. He made it fun.
Right.
That's good.
Because my dad said he has all girls, okay?
Oh,
so
wow.
my dad was like, I want you guys to be able to express yourselves when you need to. This is more not just for acting. My dad explained this later, not for acting, but this is just for life in general. and stuff. So, you know, so maybe like 10, the first time I got you know, I went to an audition, I was about 21 years old, 21 years old. And my dad was the one that was like, oh, I heard about this audition. Do you want me to go with you? And I was like, okay. So my dad took me and just did a cold read and I got it. And I was really excited.
Was that from
it was for a pilot.
Okay.
It was for a pilot, and you know, I got it. We filmed. I was really excited. My dad was on set for that one, just making sure, you know. And then from there, you know, I kind of got at the same time I was Raiderette, and then I got very heavy in the broadcast world and stuff. But I would always do auditions. I always do commercials. I would always do stuff on the side to get money. You know what I mean? Yeah. And just to stay in that world. So everything's kind of been almost like parallel.
That's funny you just said that, because how was the process of getting, because you played Rose in Fruitvale Station. How was it, first of all, working with Micheal B Jordan, because I know he's fairly new into the game as well, but how was that for you? Because I know you had a good time.
It was a mind-blowing experience. You know, it was really nice meeting him. He's a very, very cool guy, man. Very cool guy, very laid back, easy, you know, to work with. He's like, hey, what's going on? Hey, how are you? Like, you know, he's a really nice guy, and I'm so happy for all the success that he's getting right now, and I just want him to get even more and more and more and more, because I truly believe he's a good person from my experience, and a wonderful actor. And the way that I got Fruitvale Station, well, also because I'm represented in the Bay Area. I have agents, acting agents, TV and film, and that's definitely very important. Right. So anyone who wanted to do that, get represented. You know what I mean? Get represented. Show you don't have to, but it just helps you a little bit more. It really does. Yeah, yes. Of course. So, you know, my agent just called me. She just said, you know what? Go to this audition, and I don't know what it's for. It was very kind of secretive, and she goes, you know, here are the sides for it, and you know, go in and blah blah blah. And I'm a method actress, so I try to very much. I like that. Method. I you know, channel that. You know, character from the moment I wake up to the moment, you know.
Well, do me a favor before we close out, because you wear, and I'm gonna keep saying this because you do wear so many hats. Yeah. What advice can you tell someone that's on the outside looking at your career and saying, "Wow, she does this and that and that and that," or "I can do that too"? What advice would you give them to actually move forward, to be optimistic and take a risk, shall I say?
Okay, so like I said, with the Fruitvale Station thing, I took a risk. I gave the struggle is what is going to feed your art. Okay, so if you're going through something painful or something hurtful in your life, don't give in to that pain. Like, don't give in to that pain. Use that pain and use it in a form of art. Use it in your art. Use it in and create something beautiful out of that, because that will help you get rid of that pain and stuff. Because a lot of people don't understand how hard and how many mental walls you hit. And that was me. I hit very mental walls. And so the moment I was at a mental wall when I got Fruitvale Station, and when I went into that audition, I literally became like, I gave my soul in that audition. Wow.
What happened, and then I got that time, if you don't mind us
What do you mean?
Like, what were you going through?
Oh, guy problems. Okay, guy problems. Because you know, yeah, okay, you know, females, I was going through some heartache and stuff, and it was very similar to what I was going through. So that's the way I got Fruitvale Station. And then from there, it was just probably the best things, from winning Sundance to now doing more things, more projects and coming up. So definitely stay tuned. It definitely helped me. But again, if you're going through something, don't fall for that pain. Don't do anything to numb that pain. Make your art numb that pain.
Don't let that be your failure.
Yeah, don't let that be your failure. Let your art be the numbing of your pain.
Wow. What's next for you?
The world.
Oh, I like that.
That was the best answer.
Un aplauso. No, but yeah. So hopefully,
So I know you have some things coming up, but you can't speak of course.
I can't talk about them.
Which means they are good things.
Great. Yeah,
those are great things. I wish I could say that right now.
I just can't, But I just ask for good energy my way, and just know that. If I'm ever put in these positions, it will be of quality work and a beautiful example. And that's all I want to do. I just want to have fun and live a good life and give a good example to people.
My goal in life is to, once I make it I want to make opportunities for other people.
Of course.
And
of course.
that's the purpose of you on this show, because I want people to see who you are.
Well, thank
to
you.
know who you are.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. Like I said.
How can we find you? What can we find you at?
So you can definitely follow me on Twitter at Lucena21. Everything is at Lucena21. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Lucena21. LUCENA
people.
21. And you can, follow me. Everything is Lucena21. So you'll follow
Wonderful.
me. And again,
ask her those questions. Ask her how to learn Spanish.
Yes.
Ask her all that.
I used to on Twitter.
And you know what?
No, on Twitter I used to do Spanish word of the day.
Really?
Yeah. Should I bring it back?
Bring that back.
I think I should bring it
that
back.
And then try to get out of her what she's doing that she can't talk about, and let us know. Put it at the bottom of the comments of this interview and let us know.
I ain't gonna budge.
You're not gonna ruin my contract.
But I want to see it. Yeah, I'm gonna see if you could try.
That's
like
amazing.
It, so.
Oh, Kiki, where can we find you, love?
Kiki Ayers, KIKIAYERS.
Boom, boom. And you can find me on all social medias, Cortez G West, Cortez Galliano West. Hit me up. Let us know who you want on the show. You know, like, talk to us. Talk to us. Because we want to talk to you, all right?
Yes.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Oh, my God.
Love
Thank
it.
you so much.
Oh, of course, love.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
Hollywood redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.
Thanks for watching Black Hollywood Live on YouTube. For more in-depth interviews and news, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion in the comment section below here. See you soon, everyone. Bye.